Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Kyle Carroll from MyMMAnews.com and Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. Tonight, I am joined by Edwin Solis, who used to be a fighter for a while. You haven't fought since 2019. A very talented MMA fighter on the amateur circuit. Edwin, how you doing? Oh, hold on, sorry, my bad. There you go. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Doing good. It's great to talk to you again. It's been many years, so I'm definitely looking forward to catching up.
Absolutely. Tell us what you've been up to. You as an amateur, you were 5-2 as a fighter. You held the ACC title. Tell us what you've been up to for the past handful of years.
I've been training. It wasn't intentional to have this break from fighting, but I kind of reached a point in my life where I have to be the master of my own fate and take responsibility and just really take everything in my hands. So I'll definitely be fighting again this year. Obviously, I wish I was active in these past couple years, but I never stopped training. And I'm ready to get back into the fight game. I feel like I have a lot of unfinished business, so I will definitely be back this year with a vengeance.
You plan to try and make the leap to the professional level, or just
Yeah,
try and start off as the amateur again, kind of get back in the swing of things, and then make a decision from there?
yeah, no, we'll definitely be making the jump to the professional ranks. I would say by the end of this year. I would say probably one or two more fights in MMA and kickboxing as well. Uh,
Awesome.
but I'll definitely be making the jump. Definitely, if not by the end of the year, then early next year.
Anyone who hasn't seen Edwin fight before, I have a couple of your fights on my YouTube channel. Very aggressive, very skilled fighter. You get in there and you put on some pretty phenomenal shows. Like I said, you were the champion of ACC here in Queens. But tell us what you've been doing now. I see you have a fitness company coming together, Solis Academy. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started a online fitness business called the Solis Academy. I first started as an in-person trainer, and I'm still doing that. But there's only so many hours in the day, so I created the Solis Academy to pretty much help people all around the country and all around the world. And it's something that I wanted to create so that I could have an impact beyond my community, and help people, with pretty much with their workout routine, nutrition, recovery. I have clients all around the country. I'm really excited that I was able to bring this to life, and I know that I'm helping a lot of different people. So I know the Solis Academy is something that's obviously very special to me, but it's helping a lot of people, and it just allows me to kind of expand my reach, because like I said, with person training, there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell us, what was the hardest part of getting this off the ground and running, and kind of finding the clients across the country in your area? What's the toughest part of this?
I think the toughest part was kind of just putting everything together, putting all the systems in place. Um, that that was definitely something that took a lot of time. But once I had those things in place, everything else was pretty much smooth sailing. But it was really just setting up the back end stuff that I would say was the hardest stuff. But once I kind of got that all in order and I branded it the way I wanted it to, um, the rest was pretty. I had to pretty much get to like helping people and not signing websites and funnels and things of that nature. But once I got past all that stuff, it was pretty much smooth sailing.
Now you're teaching people virtually online. Um, how do you get a client to buy into your system online when they could easily just go to their gym, or go somewhere else, somewhere local, instead of hopping online with you and working with you online? What's the attraction there?
I think the attraction is that the Solis Academy doesn't just focus on the exercise component. We also focus on the nutrition. We also focus on the recovery, overall lifestyle, and mindset as well. And pretty much everything that's in the Solis Academy and the online course. is are things that I've been doing for over 10 years, things I've been doing for a very, very long time. So I would say the attraction with the Solis Academy, it's proven it works, because everything that's in it, I've done it myself. Um, and like I mentioned before, I feel with a lot of trainers, they focus on one component, which is, the exercise component. At the Solis Academy, we focus on everything across the board, because I understand in order to get that maximum result, it's not just the workouts you do in the gym. It's also good nutrition, good recovery, but also having a strong mindset as well. Because when you're building a new habit, obviously it isn't easy. There's going to be ups and downs, but you have to have the right mindset when you're really looking to make a major change and really take control, of your health, not only physically but also mentally as well.
uh, People that are making a lot of health changes, a lot of times there's a lot of difficulties in their life, right? That they have to deal with. How do you deal with that? How do you help them through difficult times in their life, or just things that they struggle with in a daily life? You're talking about mentally wise.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when you're trying to make that big change and have a lot of things going on in your life is remembering your why, and always kind of staying in tune with what's on the other side. If you do the work, what what the result is going to be of that work. So I try to do that for my clients. I don't view myself as just a fitness trainer. I tell all my clients I'm a mentor, so rely on me, reach out. It doesn't even have to be training related, because that's what I want to do for my clients. I want it to go beyond just, okay, you're doing this workout, or this is your nutrition plan, or I want you to do this in terms of your recovery. Also, the course itself also has a mindset library as well. So pretty much in the mindset library, I created like these different mindset videos, because I understand, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be
Mhm.
time, especially with certain people who aren't used to, you know, working out on a regular basis and eating healthy. There's going to come that point in time where, they're going to want to quit, or they're going to want to scale back. And eventually, if they scale back, that's going to lead to them quitting. So that's something that I included in the course as well, just to make sure that my clients have the right mindset going into it, and they maintain that right mindset. But just beyond that, I'm always in communication with my clients, because I want to see them do well. So it isn't, all right, they sign up for my program, and then I don't talk to them ever again. I want to see them do well. I want them to reach their goals. And if they're happy, I'm going to be happy. Ultimately, if they don't reach their goals and they're not happy, I'm not going to be happy.
How can someone go about signing up for the course? How long is the course, or is there a length to it? Some courses I guess could keep going forever.
Yeah, so it's a 16-week program. Like I mentioned before, it's not just a workout. So it's a 16-week strength and conditioning program that's broken up into 4 phases. So we use a progressive overload method, um, nutrition, recovery. But the course itself is 16 weeks. But I think it's important for my clients to know, or anybody interested who potentially wants to, jump on the Solis Academy program, that this is just this is just to kickstart their journey. So it's not one of those things where, all right, they sign up for the program, they go through the 16 weeks, and then that's it. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like, this is gonna ignite the fire for them to make a change for the rest of their life, not something that, all right, they just tried out for 16 weeks. And that's kind of what I view my program as, is something that's gonna just light the fire. You know what I mean? Get them off
Hmm.
and get them moving and get them building those good habits, not just for the present moment or for the next 16 weeks, but really for the rest of their life. And just have them, really understand that self care is important, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. So it all starts with you. And the program is designed to, like I said, kind of just give them that little nudge that they need to start building those good habits. But those good habits aren't for the short term. It's gonna be for the rest of their lives, so that they can live a long, healthy life.
What is the biggest challenges your clients face when they first start your program?
I think the biggest challenge, from my own personal experience, is the nutrition aspect. I think a lot of people struggle with that. Um, for me, I try to make it as simple as possible, in terms of the foods they're going to be eating, how much they're going to be eating. I try to keep it very very simple in the beginning so they don't get overwhelmed. I'm not one of those coaches that likes to throw a lot of information at people, especially in the beginning stages.
Mhm.
Some coaches do that, um, to each their own, but I don't like to do that with my clients, because I don't want them to get overwhelmed, especially if they're not used to working out, you know, if they're not used to really like following a plan. I don't want them to get overwhelmed, because if they go overwhelmed, they're going to get discouraged and then they're not going to want to do it. And that's not what I want for my clients. So I think the biggest challenge that I've seen from my own personal experience is the nutrition aspect. But because of that, that's why I try to keep it simple in the beginning so they can start to form that habit. And then as we go along, we kind of just refine things and kind of just make it more detailed. But I typically don't do that in the beginning with my clients, for the reasons that I mentioned.
Now you're talking nutrition. You get healthier foods. It just seems to be so much more expensive. Prices of food is rising because of the market and everything going on, the economy. And then you have fast food, which is cheap, simple, fast, easy. How difficult is it to just kind of don't stop to the drive-through. Go home and make yourself something healthy. Like I feel like that's definitely a challenge a lot of people have.
Oh no, for sure, without a doubt, it's definitely a challenge because it's convenient. You can
Hmm.
just drive through McDonald's, Taco Bell. You can get a bunch of food for a very cheap price. So it's definitely a challenge. And what I explain to my clients is I don't expect them to be perfect, but I expect them to be consistent. And especially like once they have their macros and they have certain numbers that they have to hit, I tell them like, look, if you have a cookie like once twice a week, it's not gonna destroy the work that you're doing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
um, my clients, even on those, for lack of a better term, cheat meals, make sure you stay within your numbers, and just be consistent. And I feel as long as they're consistent and they're doing the hard work, they'll get to where they want to get to. So, and I think that it's important, as a coach, to let my clients know that look, you don't have to be perfect. Like there's gonna be bumps in the road. You can make a mistake. Some days are gonna be better than others. But as long as we stay on the path, we follow the plan, and we're consistent, eventually we'll get to where we want to get to.
Now, you're talking about consistency. I feel like a lot of people, when you get into it, setting goals. Sometimes you set goals too far ahead, too short. How do you find the right goal for that right person?
So what I do, when I take on a new client, obviously, I want to know what their goals are, what they're trying to accomplish. And what I do with each of my clients is I map out their training every 4 weeks. So instead of, all right, here's the full 16 weeks, this is what you're going to do for the next 16 weeks. It's like, this is what you're going to do for the next 4 weeks. Focus on this. Don't look ahead. All right. Once we complete these 4 weeks, then we'll look to the next 4 weeks. So again, just following that model of just simplifying things as much as possible, so my clients don't get overwhelmed. So I map out their training every 4 weeks. I'll usually get on a call with them, over Zoom, and I'll pretty much just break down like, okay, this is what the next 4 weeks are going to look like for you. You're going to do this. And then besides that, I'm always keeping communication with my clients. I think that's important, the communication aspect, because if you're lacking in communication, then uh,
Hmm.
just not going to get to where they need to get to. Like they need that guidance. So I always tell my clients keep good communication with me, and obviously I keep good communication with them, because without that, none of this works.
Absolutely. Now, being a fighter, obviously you're implementing nutrition and you're training all the time. How do you get the break that barrier? Obviously, some people are morning people, some people are night owls. Um, Trying to get people to consistently hit the gym or just work out before or after work. You put in a full day of work, you're tired after. like there's that struggle, like I've been guilty of it. You're like, oh, I'm skipping it today, and then it's like 2, 3, 4 days you're skipping. Um, that's just another one of the challenges, right?
Oh no, absolutely. And when it comes to that, what pretty much what I explain to my clients is, you know, each day, whatever's on your schedule, whatever you have to do, or whatever you decide to do in any given day, you're building habits. That can be good habits, that can be bad habits, but you're building habits. So what I explain to my clients is, when you have that day where you don't want to hit that workout and you don't hit that workout, now you're building a habit of skipping workouts. It's not the type of habits we
Hmm.
want to build. So I think it's a matter of just being aware of the bigger picture. Like I mentioned before, some days are going to be easier than others. I know, I've been there. I know as well, very very well. But having my clients understand that that's part of the challenge and that's not out of the norm. Like, you're gonna have days you don't want to work out. You're gonna have some days where you don't want to eat the food you should be eating. But just pretty much just making them understand that it's part of the process and it's not something that is like, oh, this isn't normal. Like, it's normal, it's gonna happen. It even happens to somebody like me. I have some, I'm very passionate about training, but I have some days where I don't want to train. But I tell myself, if I skip that training session, then now I'm gonna start to form a bad habit. So I think it comes down to realizing that it's part of the challenge and being aware of the bigger picture. I think if 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 you have that awareness, you can kind of avoid some of those pitfalls.
Absolutely. And shifting gears to fighting, tell us a little bit about how you believe have you improved. Do you feel like since you last fought? So obviously, when you're training in fight camp, you're training for that opponent. You're just kind of preparing, getting stamina up. But now you've had a few years off, working on certain skills, kind of honing in on things. Tell us how that's gone for you, and do you have a date set for when you want to fight, where you want to fight, anything like that? And I know you said you switched gyms as well.
Yeah. So to answer the first part, in terms of training, like I mentioned, I didn't stop training. Where I feel I am currently, I feel I'm leaps ahead of where I was when I last fought, and I have no doubts in my mind that everybody is going to see that. Physically, I'm in a completely different place. Mentally, I feel fight IQ, and just maturity. Not that I didn't have that maturity,
Hmm.
but just naturally, as you get a little older, um, you know, you can't replace experience. I have a lot of experience, but I'm still young. I'm still young. I'm healthy.
Absolutely.
I feel good physically. The I've ever been. Mentally, I feel sharp, and I know that when I fight again, I'm not going to resemble the fighter that people saw back in 2017, 18, 19. And I'm excited to show that, to just show my evolution. I think a lot of people, when they see somebody who's had a long layoff, they're like, oh, well, he's going to have ring rust and he's not
Hmm.
the same. And I look forward to proving those people wrong. I know myself better than anybody else, and I know where my skill set is at, versus where I was when I last fought. Mentally, I know where I'm at versus when I last fought. So for me, that's not even a thing that's like playing in my head. Like, oh, am I going to be the same? Well, I'm not going to be the same. I'm going to be entirely different. And like I said, I'm going to show that when I fight MMA again and when I fight kickboxing. Just in general, just when I fight, people are gonna see the difference in my physicality, the mindset, the desire, the will, the inner dog, as some people like to call it. They're gonna see a step in there. Again, I'm not gonna resemble the same fighter that I was when I last fought. Like I'm not that same. I'm far removed from that guy, and I look forward to proving it to myself, not really proving it to anybody else, because I know I'm at a stage where I don't have anything to prove to anybody. So everything I'm doing now is to prove to myself. So it's not I'm not of the mindset that I want to prove somebody wrong. Even though I know I have some people doubting me and they can continue to doubt, but I hope they're not holding their breath, hoping for me to fail because it's not going to happen. But it's more so proving myself right, what I see in my mind and what I feel in my soul. And I look forward to showing that, to showing my skill set and showing the hard work that I've done over the past 11 years. And to answer the second part of the question, so I am training at a new gym. I'm training at Ronin in Yorktown under Bradley, who is a former fighter in Tiger Showman. So I'm training under him. Incredible fighter, incredible coach. I've learned a lot in my short period with him, and I'm really excited for what we can do together. I'm super, super excited, and it feels good to be a student again. It's been a while since I could truly say I've been a student. I've kind of in a lot of ways kind of been my own coach, so it's nice to be a student again and to learn. And I've always kept that mindset of a white belt, in terms of just
Hmm.
always open minded. And it's great being around Bradley because, like I say, he's a great fighter, accomplished, former Ring of Combat 170 champion. So the guy's been there, he's done that, and I'm just excited to learn from him. Um, I feel like just in this short time, like we just have a good connection. We're clicking. I'm very open minded. He's very open minded as well. And everything's flowing really nicely. So I'm grateful to be a part of this gym. Obviously, I've only trained at one gym for the past 11 years. So, when you transition, especially after being in one place for so long, that could be a little tough. But I don't really feel that way. It was kind of time for me to move on. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the interview, kind of just, truly become the master of my own fate and put my fate in my own hands and take responsibility, because I know that if I take responsibility for everything that happens for me, that's gonna lead me to living my best life. So that's what I did. I kind of just grabbed the bull by the horn, putting my fate in my hands, being the master of my own fate, and I know it's gonna pay off. So I'm excited to show that this year. And in terms of when I want to fight, May is the target month. Don't have an opponent, don't have a venue, but that is the goal. So I have my eyes on returning in May and at least fighting twice this year. So
Awesome, awesome. Talking about being a coach and now being a student now, how much better do you feel like you've become as an athlete, knowing like you're teaching these points and trying to help people with the little details. Now you're applying it to yourself, and the things seem like you grasping them a little bit better. Not that you had never haven't grasped them well, but you understand what I mean. Where like the finer details, you feel like you catch a little bit better when you're competing.
oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. I mean, coaching for so long and fighting for so many years, being a student again, you definitely pick up on things a lot quicker. And like I mentioned, I'm grateful to know just have that feeling again of just like, all right, I'm coming in as a student and not as a
Mhm.
obviously, like, I'm still coaching, you know, but I love to be a student. Like I said, I'm very open minded and I want to learn. And I know no matter where I get, what level I get to with my skill set, that I'm always gonna be open minded. That I'm never gonna reach a point where it's like, right, well, I know everything and I don't have to listen to this person or that person. I want to learn, because if I'm not open minded, no new information is gonna come in, and I definitely don't want that. So this whole game and just life in general is about evolving. But if you're not open minded, then that can happen. So I think it's just a matter of just not getting in my own way and realizing that I'm around a lot of smart people who can really add a lot to my game. So it's just really just a matter of just taking that information in and listening, because I feel like a lot of people, they talk too much and they should listen more, then they would actually learn something. So um being an introverted at heart, I definitely don't have a problem being quiet and listening when somebody is sharing valuable information. But a lot of people like to hear themselves talk. They like to throw their 2 cents in. I've always been the opposite. I want to listen and learn and just kind of just take in all the information that's being given.
What's one thing about you that nobody knows, or most people might not know, that you would like to share with everyone?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh man, that
It could
definitely
be
caught.
anything. It doesn't have to be combat sports or fitness related. It could be anything.
One thing that people don't know about me. Oh, well, actually, I think this is a good one. I think so. We'll see. We'll see what everybody thinks. Actually, in the fifth grade, I got an award for the best penmanship. I think that's
Okay.
don't know about me. Maybe it's a big deal. Maybe it's not. I think it's pretty cool. But I don't think many people know that. So
There you go. Penmanship is something that's kind of falling to the wayside with computers and everything nowadays. So the handwritten letter is becoming a thing of the past, unfortunately.
I'm gonna be the one to bring it back. We got to
There
bring.
you go. I like it. I like it. Awesome. Tell us how everyone could find Solis Academy.
They can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Um, yeah, that's the best way they can find the Solis Academy. They can also reach out to my personal page on Instagram, Coach Edwin. And yeah, that's pretty much the best way that people can reach me.
Awesome. Anyone you want to give a shout out to, or anyone you want to recognize?
Oh, definitely. Got to give a shout out to my two lovely older sisters. Have to show love. They've always supported me in a way that is just you almost can't even put it into words. So I definitely want to give a big thank you to my two lovely older sisters that I love dearly.
Awesome.
I pretty much want to thank everybody who has stuck, by my side, who has truly supported me through the good and through the bad. Definitely been some interesting times of late, and you know, you just uh, you just got to keep working hard. Have faith in God, believe in yourself, trust in yourself, and then, like I mentioned before, really just become the master of your own fate, and just ignore the noise. Some people have some good things, some people are gonna have some bad things to say. Like to paint certain narratives that aren't true. But I know who I am, and every day we get closer to the truth, and I'll leave it at that.
There you go. Three tips you would give to someone who's looking to change their life.
Three tips I would give somebody to change their life. Definitely get in the gym and work out. I 100% believe that working out and increasing your physical capabilities will make you a better person. Um, Work as hard as you possibly can. Um, I definitely believe that if you work very, very hard and you try very hard, that you will definitely be rewarded, and that won't go by the wayside. And then I would say the third thing is, it sounds cliche, but believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Every day that you wake up, believe that you're the man or the woman. And it doesn't cost you anything to have that mindset. In my mind, I feel like I'm the best, and I don't need anybody to validate that. But it's more of just a mindset thing, so I don't limit myself. So I would say definitely get in the gym. I think that's key. Work as hard as you possibly can and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, your family will believe in you, your friends will believe in you, and more importantly, God will believe in you. So I think those three things are key right there.
Awesome, Edwin. I appreciate coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm looking forward to seeing you get back in the cage and compete. You were a hell of an athlete, competing on the amateur level. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do now. Best of luck. And for those who want to join the Solus Academy, make sure you check it out at his Instagram, Solus Academy, and you could go to www.soluscoachingprogram.com. Make sure you
Right.
check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Edwin, thank you very much. Best of luck, and we'll definitely talk soon.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Have a great night. And again, I want to thank all my supporters, my real friends. I will see you guys on the other side.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carol's Corner MMA podcast, and we're signing off.